walking figure. Like, what is it? What is it? Like, I can't tell. I can't tell what it is. Like,
what is that? Oh no, that's him. Ah! Is that him? No. Ah!
The wilderness is full of mysteries, and sometimes the things hiding among the trees are far more frightening than anyone expects. Tonight, we're counting down chilling videos of unexplained and mysterious creatures caught on camera deep in the woods. From deeply disturbing anomalies that defy human knowledge to terrifying cryptids lurking just beyond the campfire light. These terrifying moments left witnesses questioning what they saw and wishing they had never ventured into the woods. Let's get started. The Big Thicket region in Texas is known for its incredibly dense and tangled forest. It is the perfect place for a large creature to stay completely hidden from modern civilization unless it happens to wander directly in front of a hidden lens. This video was uploaded by the YouTube channel Master Hughes Paranormal. In the footage, a static trail camera captures a leaf-covered clearing surrounded by thick brush near Houston, Texas. The environment remains completely still, with only the faint ambient sounds of the woods. Watch closely. Suddenly, a large hairy creature aggressively sweeps across the left side of the camera lens. The massive creature swings directly in front of the view, completely obstructing the lens for a brief moment as it swiftly moves past the setup. The figure briefly disappears from immediate view before a dark, heavy silhouette can be seen moving deeper among the distant tree line. The creature appears to be browsing for food, blending into the heavy foliage before passing by an alternate camera angle. This is a warning to stay away from the Big Thicket. If you don't, you might be unlucky to come face to face with this massive and scary beast. Bridges are meant to connect two places, but the historic bridge in this next footage might as well be connecting our world with something far more sinister. Deep in the woods of Denton, Texas, this old iron structure carries a legacy of terror so intense that local residents refuse to speak its name after sunset.
If you were Goat Man, interact with something now. My viewer, Trace. No, I'm kidding. This is my friend Trace. And then the professional dingus.
Yeah. Peter Inner Dingo, what's up?
So you believe in Goat Man?
I'm a big believer in anything paranormal.
He haunts me in my dreams.
Alright, we just found the bridge. It wasn't that deep in. Holy
I don't set foot on it. I feel weird stepping foot on it.
What? This is Goat Man's bridge. We are on Goat Man's bridge. One of the other theories is that Goat Man is an evil spirit on this bridge. And so that's why we brought a lot of ghost equipment to test that basically. But before we do that, there's a lot of other theories around the woods surrounding this. I feel like we should do that first.
On the YouTube channel Groovy Gavin, a team of investigators travels to the infamous Old Alton Bridge, better known to locals as Goat Man's Bridge. Legend states that a part goat, part human entity stalks the structure and the surrounding forest, occasionally dragging visitors into the dark. Local interviews reveal a long history of unexplained missing persons and terrifying nighttime noises linked to the location.
This is them. Sorry. Ethan, you careful.
What?
Bro, that's a hole. Oh.
No, that's actually interesting. What?
There's another one right there.
Oh, what the? Bro, if there is a cat down here, dude, I'm gonna lose my. It's like squishy.
That's terrifying.
Dude, look how deep it like.
Oh my. Wait, what?
There might be cats buried in here.
Wait, you just take a picture of the ground?
Nope, totally not.
The team enters the dense forest surrounding the bridge to investigate rumors of cult activity. They discover a series of deep, unexplained holes dug into the damp forest floor. The soil is strange and squishy, and the deep pits lead the group to wonder if something sinister has been buried beneath the roots.
Feeling pretty happy?
Yeah.
I feel good.
I'm happy as well.
Oh, I thought I saw a figure, bro. I'm sure if I see that, I'll notice. Why'd you have to show that right now?
Sorry.
I thought I saw something move, bro. I thought I saw something move.
Oh my god, dude.
It's not what we're looking for. Dude. What?
Something flew up. What the f?
You're lying. What do you mean
serious.
flew up? Are you being for real?
No,
Shh. Bro, I heard a crazy. Did you hear a scream? The goat man's name is Steven, apparently. Steven! Steve! Only his friends call him Steve.
Yeah, you're not. I can do a goat call. Should I do that?
Oh yeah, do that.
I used to be able. I used to be really good at
That was not bad, actually. I think you need a better call. That's a dog.
Yeah.
We'll listen for the call back.
Okay. Oh my god.
Bro, it looks exactly like this.
As they trek deeper, the atmosphere shifts. One investigator experiences a sudden, intense feeling of dread, while another spots a dark, unidentifiable shape shifting through the distant trees. Suddenly, a chaotic, loud screech echoes through the woods, sounding like a frantic woman screaming out in the dark.
Heard the screams from?
Oh. Hey, he saw a goat man.
Dude, we saw two pairs of glow eyes over there. Yeah, I saw right over there.
Right over there?
Yeah.
It was like
some skinwalker type shit.
Oh, don't say that thick.
No, like for real.
No, don't.
Wait, it was like right back in that corner.
Oh my god.
Shit.
Holy shit. Let's go down here. Turn off all your lights. Turn off all your lights.
We're now back at the bridge. I think everyone's left at this point. I think it's like 1:30 or 2. And now it's time to try the ghost equipment to see if Goatman is a evil spirit like people claim.
I think that.
All right, so you said you've never like done any of this stuff, right? Okay, these are literally 2 normal flashlights. I'm gonna give these to you because I feel like you'll validate it because you've never done this before.
Oh.
So see, like a normal flashlight, right?
Yeah.
And then this is the other thing we have. Basically, I'll turn this on, and it's a motion sensor.
Returning to the bridge after midnight, the host sets up specialized ghost hunting gear, including motion sensors and communication flashlights. They knock on the historic metal structure to provoke the entity, demanding that the spirit make its presence known.
Pants are all the way down. The water is coming right out.
All right, man. This has not ever happened while I'm alone. Oh man. If there's something here, I'm coming over to turn off the motion detector. I'm going to turn it back on now.
Left entirely alone on the bridge in the dead of night, the host captures a sudden spike in activity. Rustling sounds erupt from the bushes, and the motion sensors abruptly trigger. While no physical beast appears, the oppressive, active energy leaves the host terrified, cementing the bridge as a spot for the unexplained anomalies. On the YouTube channel The Shell Smith, a short video recorded in Jefferson County, Florida, shows a face-to-face encounter with a massive creature lingering just on the border of the woods. The clip starts with a view of a dirt road. A teal pickup truck is parked on the left, and a red SUV sits on the right side of the path, parked facing away from the camera. The setting is bright and clear, surrounded by green trees and a fence line running along an open pasture. The camera suddenly whips to the right, panning over the red SUV and focusing on the open, grassy field beyond. In the distance, a large, dark, furred figure is seen moving swiftly across the bright green grass. The bipedal creature runs on two legs with a wide stride, cutting directly across the clear field before disappearing into the woods. When you hike alone in the woods, you may unknowingly step into a territory where you are no longer the apex predator. And when a wild predator locks its eyes on you, the quiet trail instantly transforms into a fight for survival.
This is really freaky.
On the YouTube channel, Sophia Zhang, a hiker captures a terrifying close encounter while walking down a trail. In the distance, a mountain lion is spotted crouching low in the dry grass. The hiker realizes the predator is actively moving forward, towards his direction. The camera trembles slightly as the hiker remarks on how freaky the situation is, while keeping the lens focused on the approaching animal.
Hey, Mr. Mountain Lion. How are you doing? Nice to see you. Nice to see you. I am much bigger than you. I'm way bigger than you. Go! Where are you going?
As the mountain lion gets closer, the hiker tries to de-escalate the tension by talking out loud at it, trying to assert dominance. But none of that seems to have an effect on the predator. The large cat pauses temporarily and looks around, but it refuses to leave the area, keeping its gaze entirely fixed on the hiker.
This is unbelievable. There's a mountain lion right here. Right in front of me. Stay back. Stay there. I'm not afraid of you.
The mountain lion starts walking down the path, completely staring the hiker down from just feet away. The hiker remains remarkably calm but firm, repeatedly demanding the cat stop moving. The predator paces slowly along the edge of the path, sizing up the hiker before the tense standoff finally ends without an attack. The sudden appearance of a towering wild creature always comes with a sense of panic. This eerie footage, uploaded by the YouTube channel Slapped Ham, features a man named David out on a routine woodland walk. Known for capturing local wildlife on camera, he navigated the forest, but nothing prepared him for what he was about to encounter. He is standing in the woods, with tall tress around. The environment is completely quiet as he scans the trees, looking for signs of movement. Suddenly, the camera pans to the left and locks onto an alarming sight deeper in the woods. Standing completely still among the thin pine trunks is a massive, entirely black figure. The entity stands perfectly upright on two legs and appears to be heavily built, covered from head to toe in dark fur or hair. It makes no sound or movement. It's simply looming in the shadows as David keeps the camera focused on it from a distance. The eerie standoff ends as the short clip cuts away, leaving the true identity of the figure a complete mystery. Going out into the woods alone is something millions of people do every year without a second thought. But the wilderness is deadly, and sometimes you may cross paths with something that reminds you exactly why you shouldn't be there.
I was shaking so bad. I mean, my knees were knocking in my teeth, and I was froze. The creature was hairy, black shiny hair, but I'm pretty sure it was a Bigfoot. And so he's standing behind a tree looking at me about 15 yards. And I'm looking at him, and it was terrible. He was growling. One time he got so mad at me, he started beating the tree with the sides of his fist. Boom, 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 you know. You can even have the deer stand.
In this episode from the Travel Channel, a veteran hunter named Mark finds himself in a terrifying standoff deep in the forest. To Mike, these woods were familiar, and he has hunted in it for decades. But on this particular day, while out in his deer stand, he encounters something that made his blood run cold. Just 15 yards away, a massive, hairy black creature is standing behind a tree, staring directly at him. The hunter is frozen in fear, his knees shaking as the creature begins to growl aggressively.
He was growling real bad, you know, at me.
Stay back there! Stay back!
He showed me his teeth. They were just big and flat. What I'm gonna do is look through my scope. He had like a human face.
The situation escalates when the angry entity starts violently beating the side of the tree with its fists. The hunter looks through his rifle scope and locks eyes with the beast. He describes its face as strangely human, but its eyes look completely satanic. Terrified, he lines up his crosshairs between its eyes, but before he can pull the trigger, the creature lets out a roar like a lion.
Well, he looked over at it, and he'd come back and looked at me, and then he whistled back. Kind of did a grin.
Who's there? Who's there?
And that's when I heard the other one coming. He was coming.
Stay back! Stop!
You know, something told me, you better go, or you're gonna die. When I heard the other creature coming, you could tell whatever it was heavy because of the way it was cracking the brush coming, and it was coming in such a way, it was a hostile, mean way. You could tell it was trying to get there. And I just said, you know, these things they're everywhere.
Suddenly, a loud steam engine-like whistle echoes from 100 yards away, and a second heavy creature begins crashing through the brush toward them. Realizing he is about to be completely overrun, the hunter abandons his stand and takes off running down an old logging road.
You know, where was he at? He was running parallel with me, but he was running through trees. I'm running down an old logging road, it's pretty clean, but he was running through trees and he was just bulldozing them. Got those big thorn trees, and they got thorns on them like that. They'll cut you, if you touch, you get cut bad. And but he was running through that stuff. I mean, it was like he mowing it down. I mean, and then, you know, I could hear him. Yeah, these are some very smart, intelligent creatures. I think what he was trying to do, get ahead of me and cut me off.
Please! No, please!
Panic sets in, making his legs feel heavy as he desperately tries to reach his truck. The first creature quickly pursues him, running parallel through the dense trees just 50 feet to his left. It easily bulldozes through the thick trees, attempting to cut him off before he can reach safety. Believing he would be attacked the moment he turned his back to unlock his truck, the hunter scrambles to escape, completely terrified by this creature that shows absolutely no fear of his rifle. Going fishing with family is a classic way to enjoy the tranquility of nature, but for Dave and his grandpa, their relaxing weekend turned into an absolute nightmare when they woke up at night to the sound of something heavy pacing outside their tent. When they finally got the courage to unzip the flap and aim their camera into the pitch-black woods, they saw a figure standing there that should not exist.
I'm scared to death. I'm literally shaking all over. I'm so scared I can't move. Because it's the unknown.
This video is an episode of Terror in the Woods, uploaded on the YouTube channel Wild Dream Films. It documents a terrifying childhood encounter with a scary cryptid. The witness, Dave, recalls a beautiful, relaxing day spent fishing by a river with his grandfather. The calming sounds of the rushing water suddenly shift as the man describes how he was left literally shaking all over from an experience with the unknown.
Just the sound of the river. You know, there's something about the sound of the river. It just calms you and relaxes you. Everything stopped. It was like a slow motion time warp. All the crickets stopped, the frogs stopped, everything stopped when that splash hit.
The peaceful environment shatters when a massive splash hits the middle of the river, causing an explosion of water. Instantly, all local crickets and frogs go completely silent. The grandfather tries to calm his grandson by suggesting a rock or a tree branch fell, but the boy notices there are no overhanging trees near the water.
It couldn't have been more than a minute or two, and then my grandpa jumped up out of his chair, and I looked at his face, and he had a scared look on his face. His eyes were wide, like, you know, really wide, like he wasn't believing what he was just hearing. It was guttural. It came from way deep down, and it just echoed through the whole freaking canyon like you can't even imagine. I mean, you could feel it just hit you.
Suddenly, a deep, guttural howl echoes through the entire canyon. Frozen with fear, the boy watches his grandfather jump up with wide, terrified eyes. The grandfather grabs his shotgun, orders the boy to run to the truck, and threatens to shoot. Hiding behind the vehicle's tire, the boy sees a huge boulder fly 15 to 20 feet through the air, a feat impossible for a normal human.
The trees just start shaking. The tops of them are just crashing together. You can follow its path from the tree movement. They were probably 60-foot trees. I don't even think a person could do that.
Then the trees begin crashing together as something massive thrashes through the forest. The boy catches sight of a figure standing 7 to 8 feet tall. heavily built and entirely covered in fur. The creature is walking like a person, and it bulldozes through the woods, grunting, growling, and smashing branches.
Boy, get in the truck!
That's the only time I've ever seen my grandfather run.
Come on, hurry up!
He knew that thing, I mean, that thing could kill us with no problem.
Get over it.
He said, son, we're getting out of here. That thing is not of God.
As the feeling of terror overcomes them, the grandfather, gathering the last of his bravery, aims his shotgun at the approaching beast. Realizing the immense danger, he tells the boy that the creature is not of God.
Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on!
And he slaps that thing in gear and we just burn out of there. I mean, as fast as that truck would go.
Running for his life, the grandfather jumps into the truck, slams it into gear, and drive out of the area as fast as the vehicle can go. Shaken by this eerie encounter, the boy makes a pact with his grandfather never to tell anyone what they saw. As you watch this clip, have it on mind that a routine morning hunt in local woodlands can quickly escalate into a battle for survival.
August the 15th, 1974, 6 o'clock in the morning. I love squirrel hunting, so I went out in the woods. I was going to my favorite hickory tree. I got about halfway there, and this thing roars out at me, and like, roar!
On the YouTube channel Animal Planet, a segment from Finding Bigfoot features Ernie Turtleman Brown sharing a terrifying childhood encounter. On August 15, 1974, at 6 a.m. in the Kentucky woods, a 9-year-old Ernie went squirrel hunting. Suddenly, a massive creature roared at him. Ernie immediately dropped to the ground and fired his weapon toward the sound.
I'm gonna shoot ya!
I am going to shoot you! And it roared out again, 10 feet tall. You could see it moving. I mean, it just like this, it's running after me, you know, like it, making big leagues, and it was gaining on me.
The creature retaliated by aggressively ripping up tree saplings by their roots and throwing them at him. Ernie stood up, repeatedly threatened to shoot, and fired again after another deafening roar. He explains that the creature then rose to an incredible 10 feet tall, bounding and leaping rapidly to chase him down. Ernie managed to escape across a nearby fence line. Later, he returned to the scene to collect mysterious hair left on the wood splinters.
What to think? They say that it's been independently tested by 2 labs, and it's an unknown primate.
The team reviews the physical hair sample collected from the encounter. They note that independent laboratory testing by 2 separate facilities classified the specimen as an unidentified primate that has yet to be formally categorized by science, concluding the encounter with tangible, unexplainable evidence. This next footage, uploaded by Joe Moa, follows a vlogger as he launches a drone to film the surrounding woods, cabin, and campfire fort. While reviewing the live aerial feed, he spots a large, dark brown figure moving below. Realizing it is not a tree stump, he decides to fly the drone back to the cabin and head out on foot to investigate the exact location of the walking anomaly.
A walking figure. Like, what is it? Like, what is it? Like, I can't tell. I can't tell what it is. Like,
the vlogger gathers his friends to trek out into the field where the figure was spotted. He notes that it might be a bear or a deer, but admits he is scared as they approach the dense tree line. The group gets separated in the thick brush, and the host loses sight of his companions, leaving him to walk deeper into the woods, entirely alone.
Okay, guys, we just saw something on the drone. I don't know what it was. It was like a brown figure, okay? So like, me and the guys here are gonna go check it out. Hopefully, like, it might be a bear, might be like a deer. I don't know what it is, but we're gonna bring some. We're gonna just.
As the vlogger walks up a path, he suddenly catches sight of a massive, dark figure lurking ahead in the foliage. He panics as the bipedal creature turns and begins aggressively pursuing him. Screaming in terror, the host sprints backward as the creature chases him through the trees.
Something. What is that? Oh no, that's him. Ah! That's him. No. No, stop. That's him. He's coming. He's coming. Ah!
After running a safe distance, the host stops to check his surroundings. Realizing he has successfully lost the pursuing entity, he frantically wraps up the video, completely shaken, and rushes off to locate his missing friends. On binge-worthy documentaries, the wild places of East Texas reveal stories that challenge even the most experienced outdoorsmen. Jeff Stewart, a man who spent his life navigating the region's forests and bayous, grew up hearing elders whisper about a shadowy presence known locally as Crow Matan, a Cajun name once used to describe the mysterious boogeyman said to haunt the woods. For years, it sounded like nothing more than an old warning wrapped in folklore. But after two equally unsettling moments in the wilderness, Jeff began to suspect that the tale might have been rooted in something far more real.
When I grew up, it was always referred to as Crow Matan, which is a Cajun word that means boogeyman.
In rural East Texas, whispers of strange creatures in the woods have circulated for generations, rarely spoken of openly. But in 1986, during a camping trip along the remote Sabine River, Jeff Stewart's ordinary night with friends became an encounter that challenged everything he thought about the creature long dismissed as folklore.
A lot of people around here don't want to admit that they believe in the Sabine thing because they don't want to get ridiculed, they don't want to get made fun of, they don't want to be belittled, but in secret, they believe.
After a night of fishing, the group cleaned their catch near an old hand pump well, leaving scraps on the ground. Usually scavengers like raccoons or hogs would take them, and checking later was routine. But as darkness fell, curiosity got the better of them. When someone suggested returning to the spot, the others hesitated, unwilling to walk into the dark woods, leaving one to go alone, expecting nothing more than a rustling animal.
I told my friends, I said, come on, let's go over and check out the gut pile and see what's hitting the guts. And of course, nobody wanted to go.
As he approached the well, the flashlight revealed movement among the discarded fish remains. At first, it seemed like a raccoon or a wandering hog. But as he stepped closer with his rifle raised, the figure suddenly rose upright on two legs. Their eyes met, startlingly human and unnervingly aware, sending a chill through someone who had spent a lifetime hunting these woods. In that frozen moment, it became clear he was witnessing something beyond any tale or explanation he had ever known.
See that there was something eating at the guts. And I raised my rifle. And when I got probably about 20 yards, it stood up. It stood up on two legs. I was terrified. It was looking me dead in my eyes. It was very similar to human eyes. I've been hunting these woods ever since I was born. I've never seen anything like this.
The next morning, he finally got his friends to return to the well, only to find the fish guts gone and massive, human-like tracks in the dirt, wide enough for a size 14 foot. His friends dismissed it, but the encounter left him shaken. From that day, the Sabine creature remained a secret he carried alone, a chilling reminder that some legends in the woods are frighteningly real.
And on the ground right by the gut pile, there were tracks. And I wear a size 14 triple E. And with my shoe on, I could step in the footprint of a barefoot track.
Look at these footprints, seriously, guys. Here's one right here, too.
My friends still wouldn't believe it.
I'm on too, bro.
So at that moment, I decided not to tell another person. I kept my encounter with the Sabine thing a secret. I didn't tell a soul.
Countless nights along the river had exposed him to the usual sounds of the wild, but some screams were different, piercing, chilling, and unmistakably alive. Over time, he realized he came from the mysterious creature of the woods. After seeing it once and hearing it often, he knew the stories were true. It wasn't a legend, it was real, haunting the forest with a presence impossible to ignore.
There's been so many nights I've camped out down there and heard strange screams, and it will make the hair stand up on the back of your neck. The screams that I've heard in the past are definitely from the Sabine thing. I saw it. I heard it. It's real. I know it's real.
After witnessing the impossible and hearing the unexplainable in the East Texas woods, could the creature be more than just a story? Or is something truly watching from the shadows? Up next, we follow a hiker exploring off the marked trail, capturing a moment that has left many questioning what truly lurks in the forest. The hiker moves cautiously through the dense woods, phone in hand, every step crunching against fallen leaves. Sunlight barely filters through the thick canopy, and the air hangs heavy with the scent of pine and damp earth. He pauses, scanning the shadows for any sign of movement. Out of the corner of his eye, a massive figure steps between the trees. At first, it looks like a bear, broad, dark, moving with heavy, deliberate strides. But as it draws closer, its posture and gait feel wrong, unnatural, unlike anything he has seen. The creature doesn't seem to notice him at all, moving through the forest with a strange, controlled confidence, as if the hiker and his camera are invisible. The footage has sparked intense debate. Was this just a bear, or could it be something far stranger hiding in the shadows? Hidden deep in the northern forests of America, a videographer captured something that immediately raises questions. The footage appears on the YouTube channel Bigfoot Encounters North America, known for rare cryptid sightings in remote regions. The forest sits in uneasy silence, the air thick, as if time itself has slowed to watch. Then, just beyond a cluster of trees, a towering shadow steps into view.
Okay, I've got a better angle, I think. You see that thing moving? Something's moving. Something is moving. Freak. You gotta be kidding me. Okay.
Standing at least 8 feet, its dark glossy fur catches the light. It pauses, aware of the camera, moving with deliberate, cautious intent. Moments later, it slips back into the shadows, disappearing as suddenly as it appeared. Earlier footage shows it wandering at a distance, unaware it was being recorded, lending credibility to the encounter. Every detail, the size, the presence, the realistic fur, the behavior, matches decades of Bigfoot reports. And yet, the forest keeps its secrets, leaving viewers to wonder what else is out there, watching. This footage was uploaded on the YouTube channel Sasquatch Mafia, a channel known for uncovering the strangest and most remote mysteries of North America's forests. It was a crisp February day, the sun high, but filtered through thick gray clouds, casting shifting shadows over the dense evergreen canopy. Cold currents moved slowly through the forest, twisting like a ribbon of silver, while the tall trees whispered in the chilly wind. The team weren't Bigfoot hunters. They were simply documenting the wilderness when something unimaginable appeared. A massive, hulking figure stepped into the water, its dark, matted form glistening in the muted light. Each movement was deliberate, the river rippling and churning as if afraid to resist. By midday, the creature was fully in view. Its immense size, powerful posture, and eerie awareness far beyond anything anyone could expect. A haunting reminder that this forest hides secrets darker and more terrifying than we can imagine. As night fell like a black velvet sheet, a lone driver navigated the icy, snow-covered road. The fading sunlight had vanished, leaving only the pale glow of headlights cutting through the darkness. Suddenly, something appeared directly in front of the car, a towering, silent figure frozen against the snowy landscape. It didn't move, didn't flinch, as if it had stepped out of the shadows themselves. The driver's breath caught, heart pounding, facing a presence far larger and more menacing than anything imagined. Its long, muscular arms hung low, nearly grazing the icy ground, as its massive legs stood firm, like pillars of shadow. Could this massive, shadowy figure finally be Bigfoot, Dogman, Yeti, or some other legendary creature whispered about for generations? In the shadow of a long abandoned mine, a man ventured from his secluded cabin, phone in hand, documenting the forest's quiet pulse. He moved deliberately, pausing here and there, unaware that unseen eyes followed his every step. Hours later, the footage revealed what he never noticed. At the edge of the frame, a massive, dark figure emerged, its presence fleeting, yet undeniable. He had been tired, squinting at the screen outdoors after a long trek, zooming in almost absent-mindedly. And yet, the forest had recorded it all. Unedited, raw, and hauntingly real, the video hints at a presence both patient and watchful. It skirted the edges, lingering just beyond each, aware of the intruder in its domain. The encounter is a silent warning. Some parts of the wilderness are alive in ways we cannot see, and some secrets are never meant to be discovered. Small Town Monsters brings the chilling story of Suzanne Ferrick from Western Holmes County, Ohio. In the dead of night, after weeks trapped inside by a bone-freezing cold, she stepped into the darkness. Bigfoot activity had shadowed her land for years, growing more intense, more haunting. And that night, she hoped to face it, if only for a fleeting moment. The channel is known for uncovering cryptids, folklore, and unexplained phenomena, blending careful research with stories that keep viewers on the edge of their seats.
I was in my house, kind of stuck in the house after a couple weeks because it was so cold, and I just had to get out. So at like 11:30 at night, I went outside, and it was 5 degrees and dropping, and I just decided for as long as I could stay out there, I was going to listen to some music, and of course I always had the recorder hanging because the Bigfoot activity had been so fierce for the past couple years before that.
Later that night, the quiet of the snow-covered field was shattered by a presence she could feel before she could see it. From the base of the power line, a massive figure emerged in the deep snow. It wasn't an animal she recognized, nothing that belonged in that forest. Slowly, it shifted, a deliberate, haunting motion that seemed to echo through the still night. Then, without warning, a deafening sound echoed from the hillside nearby, shattering the stillness. The snow, the darkness, the towering presence, it all seemed alive, watching, waiting.
And then all of a sudden I look over, and at the bottom of the power line, 100 feet from our house, was a Sasquatch, right like this, looking right at me. And there was no trees next to it or anything. The snow was, probably a foot deep at that point, and it was just a complete outline of a Sasquatch, and it was doing this.
In that frozen moment, the world held its breath, and the terrifying reality of what lurked there became undeniable. A story told by Thomas Shea. One night, a worker at the train yard saw it, an enormous, large figure, step off a boxcar into the glowing yard. Every detail was visible, every movement deliberate. In that instant, the ordinary world vanished, and the impossible became real.
They don't want to be put on TV or nothing, but there was one. We have a train that comes through here, and we got a train yard, like where they drop off boxes and There's this one gentleman, he was working one night, and he said the train had just come in and dropped off some box cars and some cattle cars and stuff. They was empty. So he thought, he goes, if he saw this figure come out, he said, and it was all hairy. He goes, there was light there in this yard. He goes, I saw it clearly. It was hairy. It was at least 8 foot tall.
Ray Gardner shared a theory about the strange sightings that continue to puzzle the region. While not familiar with famous cases, he noted countless reports of creatures suddenly crossing roads or appearing in remote areas. Gardner believes these movements follow ancient patterns. In his view, these beings move almost instinctively, guided by generations of memory, haunting the same routes, unseen, yet ever present. It's as if the land itself remembers them, and they are simply following what has always been theirs. One witness refused to call it a Bigfoot, but he knew exactly what it wasn't. The sighting gripped him so strongly that he was determined to follow it. Then, in a shocking moment, he saw it cross the clearing, 2 massive legs covering the ground in deliberate steps, before vanishing into the shadows, leaving only a haunting question: what had he just seen? Drivers would round a dark, silent curve and freeze. There, in the middle of the road, lay a large figure, motionless under the faint glow of the asphalt. The air felt heavier, the night somehow darker, as if the ordinary world had vanished. Heat, instinct, or something far stranger. No one could be sure what it was doing there. Ray described how these creatures often follow the path of least resistance. They navigate with an almost uncanny awareness, blending into shadows while the world continues, unaware of their presence. And if they can glide through the world so silently, so deliberately, right beneath our very eyes, what other secrets might be lurking in the shadows, watching, waiting, and unseen? Alright, for this one, we're only looking at the moments that feel connected to cryptids. Just the frames that make you slow down a little and think, wait, what was that? This footage comes from the YouTube channel Encountering Wildlife, a page that goes through strange trail camera captures from remote places. The image we're focusing on shows a dark shape moving low through thick brush at night. Most people say it's probably just a bear, and that could be true. But the head looks darker than the body, and there's no clear snout or face shape. The proportions feel slightly off. It doesn't look relaxed. It almost looks careful. When you stare at it for a few seconds, it stops feeling simple and starts feeling strange.
It's pretty similar to a black bear. It looks like possibly a skinny black bear that's distorted possibly from the way that it's moving its head or its body, rapidly causing some sort of blurring effect. But what we can see is that it does have an odd look to it. Again, the consensus is that it's just a black bear. But it has that strange, almost humanoid feel to it, and that's why I included it in this video, because when you zoom in and look at the picture, I mean, it does have a strange feel to it. You know, we can see it does have the arms and legs kind of build of a black bear, and the face is the weird part, because its head is completely blurred and you can't see much detail about it.
Now let's move to the next one. In a remote area just after midnight, something upright runs across the frame. It's thin, with very narrow legs, moving fast enough to blur the details. The shape is clearly human-like, but the setting makes it unsettling. Miles from town, total darkness. It doesn't look confused or lost. It looks like it knows exactly where it's going.
But these from Robert Lowe take the cake. He said, he's got pics of this person/creature on 2 separate cameras and swears that they are legit. He said these were taken on a property 12 miles from the nearest town. What do y'all make of it? Now, just by looking at the trail camera image, we can clearly see a humanoid figure, but it looks small, almost like a child or possibly just a short person. And they're running past the camera at a rapid speed, causing some significant motion blur, and we can't really make out a whole lot of detail. What we can see is that they have what appears to be their left arm outreach.
The third image is older and taken from a low camera angle. Something is already walking on 2 legs as it enters the frame. The stride looks steady and natural. The arms hang low, almost reaching the knees. The hands don't clearly look human. It doesn't feel like an animal standing up for a second. It feels comfortable moving that way.
So I have no idea where this picture came from, location, or even who originally posted it. but I had to include it because it shows something that no one can explain. A silhouette, an overexposed silhouette of something walking towards a trail camera that's kind of positioned lower to the ground. So we can only see kind of basically from the, stomach down.
The final series of images shows a dark figure near the trees. In the next frame, it's closer. The body appears covered in long hair, but the face looks smoother. You can see eyes, a nose, even a mouth. Almost human, but not quite. In the last frame, it walks past the camera and disappears from view.
Straight at the trail camera that is positioned next to the tree. Now, it's standing at a far enough distance, probably 20, 30, 40 feet, and we can't really make out a whole lot of detail. But in the second picture, it's much closer, and we can see that it kind of has its arms positioned kind of like this, where its hands are up by its chest, and you can see that it is clearly not a black bear. This is clearly not a bear of any kind. This is something much different. We can see that it has long, shaggy hair dangling past its arms, but its face is almost completely hairless. We can see 2 eyes, a nose, even a mouth, and it looks very human-like, but it's not human, clearly. And in the third image, we see that it gets much closer to the trail camera. This time we can see just its legs down, and it seems to be walking right past the camera, possibly right after investigating it, trying to figure out what it is.
Now imagine checking your own trail camera and seeing one of these. Would you delete it and move on? Or would you start watching your woods a little more carefully? Unsettling Sasquatch presents verified sightings and first-hand encounters of Sasquatch across the Pacific Northwest. In this video, we present a carefully curated list of our most notable guests and memorable encounters, highlighting stories that have resonated most with our audience. We begin with Dean Parker of the Macau tribe in Nebe, Washington, whose insights provide a unique perspective on the region's long-standing Sasquatch traditions.
Welcome to Unsettling Sasquatch, where we share evidence as well as encounters. I've been wanting to put together this video for a while now. This video is a compilation of our very favorite guests, our favorite encounters, channel favorites, and all of that wrapped into one video. So these are in no particular order, but we will start with Dean Parker of the Macau tribe in Nebe, Washington.
Dean Parker, known as Papado of Nebe, recalls a night that still chills him to this day. Driving back to Skokomish through the dark, empty stretch of Humpt, something appeared on the road. A figure emerged from the shadows, moving with an eerie, unnatural grace. It took 3 deliberate steps across the road and then vanished, swallowed by the darkness, leaving only a haunting silence behind.
All right, my name is Dean Parker. I'm from Nebe, and a lot of people call me Papado. And I'm going to tell you about my encounter with the Sasquatches. My first one was driving back to Skokomish, and we was going through tulips there, and it was during the nighttime, and I come up on the road, and I told Lametta, I said, "See that?" "Yes." "You know what that is?" "Yes, it's a Sasquatch," and it took about 3 steps across the road, and it was...
What began as an ordinary moment quickly turned unsettling. From somewhere in the distance, a sharp whistling sound broke the silence. It didn't fade. It repeated, growing closer each time, deliberate, almost directed. With the wind pressing against his face, the realization set in that whatever was out there was no longer far away. The air felt wrong, and instinct warned that the situation was about to take a dangerous turn.
Then I heard this whistling noise out there in the distance. This is not going to be good. And I kept on hearing whistle, getting a little bit closer, whistling at me, and I knew they were really getting... I was walking.
That moment became one of his most unforgettable experiences, an encounter with not one, but 2 Sasquatches, leaving a lasting impression that would stay with him long after the night ended.
Oh, that was my experience with the...
Long before he knew the legends of Sasquatch, Johnny grew up in Missouri a childhood untouched by television and the tales it might have told. When his family moved to Washington State, the dense forests and rugged wilderness became the backdrop for a childhood adventure unlike any other. On one of his first backpacking trips, a dozen kids and a single adult, the stage was unknowingly set for encounters that would change everything he thought he knew about the world around him.
I grew up in Missouri, and I didn't have TV. We didn't have TV when I was a kid, so I didn't know anything about Sasquatch or Bigfoot. And my family moved to Washington State, and one of the first trips I did as a kid was I went on a backpacking trip with, I think there were 12 of us kids and one adult. And
while trekking through the rugged trails of Mount Three Fingers in the Boulder River wilderness, an eerie sound shattered the quiet. Something slammed against a tree with a force that no human could match, rattling the forest with rapid, thunderous blows. Even those who had grown up among these woods felt a shiver run down their spines. The group froze, hearts pounding, as the hair on their arms and the back of their necks prickled with an instinctive, chilling fear.
We were hiking on Mount Three Fingers in the Boulder River wilderness, and something in the woods pounded on a tree right next to us, and it was inhumanly loud sound. No person could have done it, and I think it knocked the number of people in our group on the tree. It was boom, 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 real fast, real loud. And I grew up, playing in the woods, and I never heard anything like that. And, everybody there, we just froze.
Further up the road, two campers emerged, their headlights cutting through the darkness as they made their way down the hill. But something, or someone, was following them. A tall, unnervingly slender figure appeared on the road, moving with an almost unnatural grace. When he pointed it out to his friend, they brushed it off, assuming it was just the campers. But his eyes stayed locked on the figure as it came fully into view, impossible to ignore, and the forest seemed to hold its breath.
So they were coming, the two people that had camped further up the road, they came walking down the hill, they had their headlights on, and they were about over here on my left when I saw a tall figure following them on the road. It was very slender, but very tall. And I remember saying, "Hey, I see something up there." And my buddy who was over there, he said, "Oh yeah, that's the, so-and-so, that's those people that are friends." And I was like, "No, they're over here." And everyone just kind of ignored me. But I watched this figure walk into view.
Sonia approached the encounter with logic, carefully testing every explanation. A bear didn't make sense, as none of the usual warning signs were present, and it didn't feel like a deer, another animal, or even a person in the woods. One final possibility crossed her mind, one she resisted at first: Sasquatch. That unsettling realization, paired with the location and behavior she witnessed, drew her into a mystery she could no longer ignore.
Through and find a provisional hypothesis for what it is you're experiencing. And so I'm like, okay, well, if it was a bear, I would expect these things to occur. Bears are big enough to break branches. Bears would slap the ground with their forepaws, but I would have expected to hear huffing or jaw popping. Yeah. Black bears almost never try to intimidate people, and if they do, they make really obvious bluff charges. You probably would see a bear. I didn't think it was a deer, but I said, okay, well, if it was a deer, here's what I'd expect. Was it a wild cat? Was it a creepy person? And then my final one that I didn't want to even put down was it a squat?
Sarah Brown is a witness whose account stands out for its clarity and detail. During her encounter, she observed a Sasquatch from a distance that allowed her to study its form, coloration, and movement with unusual precision. Her careful observations and the drawing she later created offer a rare and compelling perspective that adds depth to her experience and credibility to her account.
Until Friday, May 10th, which was actually the day of the Aurora Borealis, I saw a Sasquatch that was standing across a field that was about 200 yards away from us. And what I saw was very two-toned in color. It was similar to like an orangutan red, An orangutan red all over here.
The sighting lasted only seconds. As she spoke, her attention drifted for just a moment, long enough for something across the field to catch her eye. She looked up, locked onto the figure, and then, just as suddenly, it was gone. Like so many Sasquatch encounters, it vanished without a trace, leaving behind nothing but the lingering question of what had truly been there. On Exposing the Strange, Jay Fouch, a seasoned Bigfoot researcher in Ohio, opens a rare window into the shadowy world of America's most elusive creature. Jay recounts the moment he first came face to face with a Bigfoot, years of tracking strange sounds and subtle forest signs culminating in a sighting that shook his sense of reality. At first, he questioned his own eyes, unsure if what he saw was real or imagined. Yet, that encounter marked a turning point, deepening his understanding of the mysterious beings that roam the woods and fueling a lifetime dedicated to uncovering the unknown.
My first major, I had a lot of encounters where I would, let's say my first encounter where I'd actually seen one, it scared me. It scared me because I've been following wood knocks. I have interactions with them, but not actually seeing a Bigfoot. One time, actually in this spot right here, we had seen one on the hill, and you know, when you first see one, you talk yourself out of what you've seen. I didn't notice it at the time, but now as I've been into this, you see one, maybe it was this or maybe it was that, you know, and I've done the same thing. It's just...
The first sighting came just as dawn began to creep over the horizon, a moment suspended between night and day. At the edge of the breaking dawn, a shadow moved with a weight that seemed almost impossible. It rose from behind the dam, larger than anything the observer had ever imagined, its presence commanding the quiet woods. Features were indistinct yet haunting, but the hollow gaze and broad silhouette left no doubt. This was no ordinary creature. Heart pounding, every instinct screamed to flee, yet fascination rooted the witness in place, confronting the unimaginable in the soft gray light of morning.
First sighting I had was at a dam similar to this. It was daylight, just getting daylight. It wasn't daylight yet. It was just still as that little area where you can see pretty good, but not really good for. I couldn't see couldn't see his face really well, but I mean, I could see his nose, where the eye sockets were. It comes off a dam, and it's walking right toward me. Well, I have to drive out that way to get out of there, and I'm thinking it's over. This thing's going so big. I didn't realize I was chasing something that big. I thought, you know, I don't know what I thought, but I didn't think nothing like what I saw.
As the forest stirred in the dim light, an immense presence moved with deliberate force, coming straight toward the jay. Every thought snapped into survival mode. Heart racing, mind calculating, body frozen yet ready. Then, without warning, the figure veered toward the creek, revealing not one, but 3 pairs of gleaming eyes that seemed to pierce the shadows. Trembling uncontrollably, the witness finally escaped down the winding road, haunted by the enormity and raw power of the 2-legged giant he had just glimpsed.
I roll this window down the direction it's coming this way, it's still coming, and I'm thinking snap out of it, you know, get your muscle memory on your gun down, shoot it. When it comes shoot, you can't shoot no more. Drop your mag, I'm thinking what I gotta do to try to live. Well, eventually it turns, and now it's heading down the creek line. It gets down to the end of the creek line, and there's 3 sets of eyes shining right at me. They turn around and get down the creek. Well, I pull out of there, I make it down the road a couple miles, and I pull over, and I mean, I'm literally shaking. I'm that scared.
It loomed over tall and imposing, an immense silhouette that commanded the clearing. Its movements were astonishing, each stride effortless, covering ground with a fluid grace that seemed impossible for something so massive. He was transfixed, caught between awe and disbelief, as the creature's silent power and elegant motion unfolded before him like a force of nature come to life.
At least 8 foot tall with a spread on it, maybe 4.5, 5 foot wide at the shoulders. It was that big. I couldn't take my eyes off its hips, how it walked. It was like it was so huge and it just glided. And the steps were so big and it just covered so much ground, but so smooth. It was just to watch it walk was just amazing. Just the walk was amazing to me.
Each sighting was unique. No 2 creatures ever looked exactly alike. While the iconic 1967 Patterson-Gimlin figure captures the imagination, the reality is far more diverse. In Ohio, Jay noted striking variations. Some resembled that famous image, yet many others carried entirely distinct features. Over time, it became clear that multiple types, perhaps even separate species, roamed the region, each with its own unmistakable presence.
So when you see the 1967 Patterson-Gimlin film, you can't just go out and look for that, because that's very few of them look like that, especially here in Ohio. I have seen them that look, hey man, looks just like Patty, you know, but they're all different looking, and I actually believe there's 2 or maybe 3 different species of them here in Ohio.
He wasn't alone in witnessing the encounter. Passing the viewing device to a companion, he held his breath as the other person's gaze locked onto a massive figure moving through the distant valley. Astonishment spread across their face, unspoken yet unmistakable. A fellow investigator suggested that what they were seeing might belong to a rare and little understood type, one of several mysterious giants said to inhabit the Ohio wilderness, each as enigmatic and elusive as the next.
I handed the scope to another person, and they seen the same thing I seen. I didn't tell them what I was looking at. I just said, hey, look by them bushes, it's way down in the valley to the left. And he's like, oh my God, an Neanderthal man.
If these mysterious giants truly roam Ohio's forests, each one distinct and unseen by most, how many have silently watched from the shadows? And what truths about our world have they kept hidden all this time? Could there be creatures out there we've never imagined, moving just beyond our sight, waiting for someone brave enough to notice? The next time you go camping in the woods or step onto a quiet path after dark, remember that you might not be the only one there. Which of these encounters shook you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and subscribe to our channel for more terror and paranormal encounters. Thanks for watching.